Here at the Sulis Orthopaedic Centre, which is part of Royal United Hospitals in Bath, we're a 2-theatre, 7-bedded specialist orthopaedic centre for planned operations for NHS patients. So basically that means if you've got pain in your hip or knee or shoulder or hand and you need an operation, then that's something we can do here, and we're key leaders in our field in delivery of care.
So the Sulis Orthopaedic Centre has been set up to help provide orthopaedic operations for patients from the Bath, Swindon and Wiltshire areas.
All of the surgeons who will look after you are employed by the NHS. You'll be seen at a hospital near to you at home and then referred into Sulis Orthopaedic Centre and come here for the day of your operation. Any follow-up care you require will be done back at your local hospital.
For the vast majority of patients, particularly those having hip and knee replacements, you can expect to have a spinal injection for your operation. Because of this, a large proportion of our patients who come through the Sulis Orthopaedic Centre get to go home on the same day as their surgery. And because of that, you recover faster and recover better.
We have got 2 theatres, a meet and greet area where you can sit and wait for your family to collect you. We've got 7-day case pods, which are private rooms, which are very comfortable. And then when you're starting to feel a bit better and you're out of bed, there's a dedicated physiotherapy area where our specialist teams will help you mobilise. Our new orthopaedic centre is positioned in a lovely area of outstanding natural beauty just south of Bath. It's a quiet environment and it's a lovely place to recover from an operation.
Sulis Orthopaedic Centre is designed specifically to look after patients in an elective setting. So it's a nice building in a nice part of the world, and there are no distractions of a busy hospital with a busy A&E. It allows us to really focus on being really good at looking after people coming in for orthopaedic operations.
Interestingly, I walk into a normal hospital and my blood pressure goes through the ceiling. But this time my blood pressure stayed exactly the same as when I took it at home, and apparently the whole hospital is designed to put people at their ease so blood pressure doesn't go up. And of course, because it's a private hospital with NHS patients, it's not frenetic like a big hospital. They're not people rushing around. So I found that wonderful, really.
I think the Sulis Orthopaedic Centre is a way for our region to be able to open up orthopaedic care, and the high quality of orthopaedic care that we've got here at Sulis Hospital to a wider variety of patients who previously have been waiting really long times to have really life-changing operations.
My life has changed because I'm now I'm much more mobile than I was, and I feel better in myself because I'm not in constant pain. I was in constant pain, and all my friends said that, immediately after I had the operation I looked better.
The aim of our orthopaedic centre is for you to have your life-changing operation as soon as possible so you can resume your daily activities pain-free.